Rules for a Night by Ethan Hawke. Chapter 19. Love. Love is the end goal. It is the music of our lives. There is no obstacle that enough love cannot move. The magnificent knights and ladies of this world would have been great leaders and warriors, but also healers. They fight with love, lead with love, and heal with love. This does not mean they skirt or evade confrontation. Sometimes you must fight for your beliefs. Confrontation is always preferable to dishonesty or injustice. A knight is never goaded into battle, but enters the fray with a lucid mind, free from fear, anger, or vengeance. In this way, he can be sure that the options of peaceful resolution have been exhausted, as well as better position himself for victory. If you are unable to control your anger, keep your distance and your mouth shut until you can. It is easy to intimidate or to make others feel small or afraid. This is not strength. A great knight or lady uses power to empower others. Do the good you have the power to do. Protect the young, watch your siblings' backs, and care for the elderly. You will find no better use of your time. Be careful not to draw the circle of your family too small. There is no finite amount of love. In courtship, honesty is the first requisite. To achieve honesty, a knight must first be intimate with his own soul. This is difficult and takes time. Just as we all have secret thoughts and concerns inside ourselves, which we would share only with the person we value, respect, and trust, so too is it with the body. There are secret places that we need not share, which need not be shared. A knight is never in a hurry. He is careful with his heart and the hearts of others. Beware of feigning affection. It is never necessary. You show others the most respect by being truthful, not by trying to please them. Know that love is more than a word. It is an action. Do not make the common mistake of confusing love with desire or obsession. Be suspicious of too much passion. It can turn love into a kind of malady that is as destructive as too much wine. To love is to bring well-being to the object of our affection. Love is responsible, safe, it has care in it. I met your mother when she was 16. It's a long, embarrassing story for me, but you deserve to know. When your mother and I first met, I was in love with the Duchess of York, along with everyone else. I'd met the Duchess only once, but no sooner did we make eye contact than I was madly, deeply, irrevocably in love. I had dreams every night that she would be my bride. She looked ravishing in her elaborate gowns, jeweled from head to toe, with a handmaiden at each side. Oh, I yearned for her to notice me. We would be the most famous couple in the world, I imagined. Well, it didn't turn out so well. I sent her a long love letter designed to show her that not only was I the bravest knight in all the land, but I was a great poet too. It seemed to work, at first. I was invited to a series of dances, and became one of the Duchess's 30 or so suitors. Several times I was granted a walk in the garden, and twice I was even invited for a cup of tea. Slowly I began to suspect that I was merely a pawn in a game designed to win Prince Philip's favor. One day her secretary wrote me, asking that I please not write or visit again. I was despondent. Her marriage to the prince was announced officially a week later, but I refused to accept defeat. I was bent on one thing: winning back her love and stopping this sham of a royal wedding. Obviously, the Duchess should be with me. Then there was an unexpected turn of events. Quite suddenly, 1/4 of our house burnt down. We still don't know exactly how it happened. Our fireplace was old and in disrepair, and I think in my depression it may have been my fault. I may have left some unused kindling too close to the fire. The house was severely damaged, and even worse, grandfather was injured. In trying to put out the fire, he had suffered severe burns and was in terrible pain. He did not blame me. He was angry he hadn't repaired the chimney, but I couldn't shake a feeling of guilt and culpability. There was a woman who lived 20 miles away who was said to be skilled in healing burns. When I called on her, I discovered the woman had recently died. Her daughter, however, said she could help. This was my first introduction to your mother. With her riding on the back of my horse the entire 20-mile journey home, I confessed to your mother my terrible feelings of guilt that the fire might have been my fault. I'm ashamed to say I also mentioned to her the terribly important tale of my passion and unreciprocated true love for the Duchess of York. We talked and talked. Twice a week we made this journey, there and back. Your mother was a wonderful nurse, quickly eased grandfather's pain and hastened his healing. Patiently, she listened, and advised me in my follies with the Duchess, and helped me to forgive myself for the accident. Grandfather would survive, and I would have ample opportunity to be of service to him. When grandfather no longer needed treatment, I found myself writing to your mother daily. At first I just wrote reports of grandfather's progress, but later our letters became more personal. Over a period of several years we became good friends. Your mother is a wonderful writer, and reveals her true nature in her small, clear handwriting and her succinct observations. She made me laugh. Oddly enough, I'd never even considered her romantically. I was too concerned with my duties and my general disappointments with myself. By the time your mother and I first danced at her cousin Filippo's wedding, I realized like a slap to the face that I loved this woman, body and soul, and had for quite some time. How strange that I never even saw it coming. The whole of my boyhood I had expected love to be wild, grand, all-encompassing and overwhelming. With your mother, it had felt too healthy, honest, and wholesome to be love. After we danced, when everyone was tumbling outdoors, we accidentally kissed. It was awkward, and neither one of us was sure how it had happened or what would happen next. Later that evening, I watched her play the dulcimer. Her intellect, her body, and her emotions seemed to be absolutely one. Her chest rose and fell as she played. She wasn't merely breathing, it was more as if she were being breathed. From that moment forward, she held my beating heart in the palms of her hands. I didn't fall in love with your mother at first sight, the way I had heard about it in song, or as I had experienced with the Duchess. No, it happened slowly, and because of that, I could never fall out of love. There was no falling at all. It has been a subtle, ever-growing relationship, one that has given me energy, joy, moments of pure bliss, laughter, romance, but more than anything, we have been and always will be friends. I know that's probably not the fairy tale young people want to hear, but I promise, if I were allowed one wish, it would be for each of you to feel the kind of love I feel for and from your mother. End of chapter 19.